think we're certainly closer to such a scenario than we've been for a long time.
I think in modern thinking, a Third World War would probably be a nuclear war, or a war where you have nuclear release of weapons towards the end of it.
I think conflict on a grand scale could become more likely.
World war as in complete global, perhaps not.
The real risk is a rogue state, like Iran, like North Korea, acquiring a weapon of mass destruction, a nuclear weapon, and using it against a neighbor that they disagreed with. And so we could well find ourselves in a situation where we would have to disarm someone like, Kim Jong-un, or even Vladimir Putin, if they started threatening a neighbor or threatening ourselves. So we could see a limited conflict, and that could very well escalate. And once you go nuclear, all bets are off. You don't know what's going to happen. We need to be very careful, obviously, but we need to be mindful about escalation and make sure that we have good plans in place to avoid it. And one good way to avoid nuclear escalation is to ensure that you have a high level of conventional forces that achieve a deterrent effect.
I think in terms of not taking yesterday as a perfect judge of tomorrow, anyone who was not concerned about the military build-up of China, I think would be making a grave mistake. They are certainly preparing for a situation where they believe they would not lose against the United States. And so I think they are building up forces which will make the United States think twice about getting into a significant fight with China. Whether that ends up in open warfare, at some stage the US has got to work out whether it will stand by its allies in the region. And if their allies are being intimidated and bullied and so forth by China, will the United States stand up and say, no, we will not support this? That is a question that some American president, probably not President Trump, but one of his successors, is going to have to face in the next decade.
We're not just talking about more tanks, more ships, more troops being put into the field by China. We're talking about an actual ratcheting up of technological prowess with new weaponry such as hypersonic weapons. Gone are the days where the Chinese military are simply copying Russian designs to put tanks and ships out there. They're really going their own way now. They're making a lot of progress with, for example, jet engine technology. And in future, they will be a superpower. And potentially that could lead to conflict on a larger scale.
We tend to sort of think of war as in something which might have been East versus West, big confrontation between two states. But, was Iraq a war? Yes, it was. It was a confrontation, and we went there as part of the coalition of the willing. I can see that happening again. If you take some country which says, will you come and help? Will you get us out of this mess? We're being attacked. And we have been friends for a long time, and we have even have a defense agreement that it requires you to come and help us. A small country which people don't much think about nowadays, for example, Oman, might actually find itself under attack from Yemen. And the answer is that we probably would go and help them. You are into war. You may not be into a huge war. You may not be into nuclear war, but you're into war. So yes, I can think very easily about the United Kingdom having to go to war. After all, in the past 10 years alone, we've been to 5.